Okay, now we are going to discuss about online reputation management. Online reputation management is a multifaceted concept that is aimed at creating a positive public perception of a brand, business, or person. Reputation management includes monitoring reputation, addressing any content or customer feedback that could damage the brand, and using to prevent and solve problems that could damage an entity's reputation. How online reputation management works, right? In nutshell, ORM is all about monitoring and managing brands' reputation across the web, about ensuring that your business is properly represented and that potential customers are left with a great impression on who you are and what you do. That is said, multiple channels fall within online reputation management, and since it may seem overwhelming at first to address all these channels, let's think about them in terms of the peso model. Here is a pretty extension topic. Paid media for online reputation management. Paid media implies all online content that requires payment to feature your brand. It involves channels like Google Ads, social media ads, sponsored spots, or promotions by influencers. This aspect of online reputation management is fairly straightforward. You have full control over your own placements. You have to carefully check through if any of your competitors are advertising against your brand. How paid media platforms have strict guidelines against such practices, and a single complaint can solve this negative sentiment implicant. Earned media. Media ensures the coverage that your brand receives from external platforms free of charge. They include external articles, press coverage, blogs, forums, some industry-specific third-party listings, like that. Google My Business would also count as earned media, as customers leave reviews for your business without your control. Earned media should be a focus for all businesses. These sources help create a positive outlook and create trust with online visitors. Shared media. On top of your website, your business accounts across various social networks are the online version of your business card. Unaddressed complaints, negative comments on Twitter, and low star rating on Facebook can seriously harm your company's reputation and turn potential customers off. You should pay attention to what is happening on your Twitter wall the same way you would treat the walls of your brick and mortar establishment. Owned media. Owned media largely relates to your websites and blogs, the properties that are under your full control. So if you work on improving the ranking of the pages that are the utmost importance to your brand's reputation and perception, you are on right track. Although your online reputation management job gets easier when you deal with online spaces you control, don't forget that you have to establish an all-encompassing ORM process. Basically, Google will showcase what whatever is the highest ranking page for your branded search. So popularity matters and not the inherent truth. Thus, you should focus on all the channels your brand gets mentioned on and try to manage your reputations across all of them. Why reputation management is important for the online business? So, impact on buying decisions. The lack of online review management can actually cost your customer base, as 81% of buyers do some online research before making a purchase. The way you appear online is the make it or break it factor in their final decision. And your online reputation really a business quality check with 88% of consumers reading reviews to determine if your business is reliable or enough. Second one, it is the online version of word of mouth. 85% consumers treat online reviews as personal recommendations and trust them as much as a tip from a friend. It is a great thing if your reviews are impeccable, but what happens if there was some bump on the road and someone posted a well-grounded negative comment? In the age of social media, when news spread like wildfire, it can be an absolute bombshell. $1 billion in market value after a video of a passenger being violently forced away from an overbooked flight went viral. The video earned over 1 million mentions a day and over 100 million views. The CEO of United Airlines has accused of failing to deal with this situation and the lack of PR crisis management. Nestle also faced a notorious failure in reputation management when they were publicly accused by Greenpeace of harmful environmental practices. While Nestle failed to react to the rising social crisis, it even worsened it by asking YouTube to remove the Greenpeace video. In the aftermath, the company was forced to temporarily shut down its public page as people started posting the altered version of their Kit Kat logo all over the web. 3. There is no delete button for negative reviews. It is not only the no that remembers. The internet keeps everything well almost. Whatever people are saying about your business online is likely to stay online. But you actually have a chance to alter it a negative opinion about your business. By using a proper response, you can turn an unhappy customer into a loyal fan. According to research data, 70% of customers who complained and got a satisfying response from the business will come back and do business again. Fourth one, you can get valuable feedback. Monitoring is a critical part of managing your online reputation. You can start collecting some useful insights on customer satisfaction and feedback regarding your product or services. So before doing some polling surveys and going around the globe for customer feedback, you can simply pay attention to what your customer have to say about your business. How to manage your brand's online reputation. You need a process you can put in place for successful online reputation management. Of course, the process will vary from company to company, depending on your size, your industry, and your resources. But take the 8 rules we outlined below as the key milestone for establishing an efficient online reputation management strategy. First strategy, perform an audit of your online reputation. Before putting any ORM process in place, you have to conduct an extensive online reputation audit. Basically, the idea of an online reputation management audit has to do with uncovering how people see you online and what kind of issues you are facing in challenging that field. And to do that, you have to do some brand monitoring. Clearly, that is a way to conduct some quick audit of your brand reputation manually. Just open up incognito window and enter your brand name into Google search. Take a good look at sites that appear on the very first page. Identify what Google My Business related features come up on that page and evaluate your presence there. Ratings, comments, reviews, user generated photos. Separate the websites into the ones you control and the ones you have limited power over. With your social media accounts, they are highly manageable with third-party listings. You can reach out to site owners and remove misleading bits. With a critical news piece, you can reach out to the author and try to talk to him about his dissatisfaction or convince them that they have got a wrong perception of your company or product. Read through the reviews on these sites and try to understand the general sentiment. This is an important step for further prioritization over the platforms that require the most urgent attention. Certainly, at this stage, this may seem like an exhausting process to conduct the audit manually. Second one, establish an online reputation management strategy. Now, when you know what the online landscape around your brand is, it is time to set up an online reputation management strategy. However, before we get into details about it, you have to get your priorities straight. Online reputation management prioritization. Getting started with online reputation management can seem overwhelming. Thus, prioritization is of paramount importance as you cannot jump on every single mention. Once your audit is complete, it should be easier for you to prioritize what you should focus on first. Try to balance out a few factors that should impact your decision. First one, set up your online reputation management goals. If it is about response time, it is wise to focus on platforms you have direct access to. You can filter out your mentions within the brand monitoring tool by these criteria and monitor those. Define your boundaries and limitations. Reviews how many resources you can allocate for the ORM project and keep in mind that this is an ongoing process. So be realistic in your assessment. Prioritize your ORM by impact. Although you may feel like you have to deal with everything at the same time, be realistic about the scope of the job. Impact is the biggest criterion for your choice, as you have to try and allocate your resources into the channels with the higher stakes for your business. Prioritize tasks. Which tasks are critical and must be addressed first? There should be a plan for handling critical and challenging tasks. Choosing the easier task to get done first is not always the best option. So, in your plan, there should what comes easiest to you, what will have the greatest impact, what you want to achieve, how much you can realistically do. Policy definition guidelines and tone of voice. To be successful at ORM, there is some red tape you have to go through. It is crucial to establish company-wide guidelines and tone of voice when dealing with online reputation. Once again, the scope of these policy talks will vary from business to business, but the general idea will stay. Policy documentation. Once you start your ORM project, you will always be alerted about a new comment, review, or other types of mentions. So it is important to have a somewhat strict definition of what is urgent and what can wait, who is in charge, and how to respond. Urgent, non-urgent. You have to define what kind of reviews are at most urgency for your business. If your customers are surfing through Reddit frequently and any negative info, there can be a deal breaker for your product. Pay special attention to mention from there. You can also prioritize cases by importance to your brand and customers. Urgent. By and large, cases that can be detrimental to your brand's reputation go away beyond a casual negative comment. Don't forget to review the profile of a person who wrote the review. If it is someone popular in some circle, have non-urgent. Normally, a non-urgent response is okay when you are dealing with cases that can be easily resolved by a typical response. But even if you know an immediate response is not needed, still define this time frame for responding to such comments and make sure you are reaching out to the commentator with an acknowledgement of their concern, even if it will take you a while to get back with a response. Blacklist. Every business has come across trolls and pure haters who cannot be convinced to act reasonably. So sometimes it is just better not to issue any official response because it will only escalate the conversation and lead to you can start a blacklist everyone can refer to when looking at your policy docs. Response templates. It is always a good idea to create a document that includes frequently asked questions about your brand. Keep all the answers within this document so that your colleagues or you can use it as a general guideline for responding to reviews and comments. Who is in charge? If it is everyone's responsibility, It is no one's responsibility. So clearly define who is in charge of certain channel and try to stick to this policy. Collaborations are welcome, but it has to be clear to everyone where their responsibility begins and ends. Tone of voice. It is really important to establish a certain tone of voice for replying to negative or even positive reviews and comments. For each brand, this part of the policy will vary, but make sure everyone is sticking to these guidelines. Generally, it is a good idea to make sure you are not acting like a bully and not escalating any conflicts. Some conversations can be moved to DM. DM means direct messaging. But even then, try to stick to your tone of voice rules as people can share private conversations publicly as well. Have a crisis management strategy in place. You can never anticipate a crisis, but this doesn't mean that you shouldn't prepare for one. So a sound crisis management strategy should always be in place as things escalate online at an unprecedented speed. Clearly, this is huge area to cover. So we won't go in too much depth, but generally speaking, there are a few things you have to prepare to be ready for an ORM crisis. Number one, make use of brand monitoring tools as they will quickly alert you if there are any unexpected conversation peaks about your brand. Keep an eye on industry trends as some legislation changes of the arrival of new cutting edge technology can put your business under a lot of stress. Know where your audience is and how to most efficiently communicate with them. If a large part of your audience is more active on Twitter, choose this channel as your primary communication space because this way you will reach a wider audience in less time. React quickly to every negative comment or review and draft a copy of your response as quickly as possible. But make sure no one copies and pastes it in mass. At the time of a crisis, your response should look tailored to each comment and personal. Fifth one, set up a chain of command beforehand, as everyone should know what their roles are in advance, especially when your colleagues are facing a crisis and may lose their cool. Monitor brand mentions efficiently. Being proactive in monitoring online conversations provides you with a real-time view of your online presence and gives you an opportunity to timely reaction. However, it is not just about checking what reviews rank on Google. To efficiently manage and monitor brand mentions, you can use a brand monitoring tool, right? How to monitor your online review efficiency? Once you have entered your brand name and domain, you will be walked through this setup process, choosing your target country, brand keywords, and will have the ability to schedule daily, weekly, or monthly email reports. Okay, so always try to maintain your online brand reputation by digitize. You have a lot of opportunities to build up your online brand reputation. How frequently you should schedule reports very much depends on often you are mentioned online. It is depend upon the activity and scope of your business in many ways. Once set up, the tool will return a whole host brand say mention insights for you. You will be able to understand from the dashboard and reports the overall sentiment of brand mentions across the web. Dominate search engine result pages for brand search. No successful online reputation management strategy takes place without some SEO magic. Your main job is to show up on the SCRPs for your branded keywords. The best way to get there is to have a website that ranks highly. Also, focus on optimizing your official social media channels, as these sites typically appear within the top 4 branded search. But chances are you won't fill the entire space with your own media. Here is how you can review that site to look out for to give away a positive vibe within search engine result pages for your brand search. Define your brand keywords. You can try to determine these keywords yourself, but like this, you can make use of online software that will do the job for you. You should identify the branded keywords with the highest impact. Quickly check the search volumes for each branded keyword to prioritize between them. Create a list of branded keywords that are your top priority. Or you can just manually enter the keyword as a search query on Google. Look through the first result page and identify the negative spots you should work on. There are a few things you can do about external reviews and platforms. If it is about Google My Business reviews, reach out to your loyal customers and ask them to leave positive reviews to balance out the negative and increase in your rate. If there is some negative content ranking for your brand keyword, try to contact the author of that negative piece and ask them to rectify it. Of course, you have to provide well-grounded reasons as to why they are criticizing may be irrelevant now. Maybe you have fixed something they were unhappy about or are currently working on some improvements. Another way to beat that external negative piece is to create content but would outrank it. Encourage positive reviews online. Negative or positive online reviews will impact your business and sales. Dimensionals, this research uncovered that positive online reviews affect 90% of buyers' buying decision, and 86% of users will think twice about choosing your brand if it has negative reviews. And people's expectations about your reputation are pretty high. In fact, 49% of consumers expect a 4-star rating from a business they will consider buying from them. How to get your customers to leave a review? The easiest way to deal with negative reviews is to outweigh them with positive ones. Right? So you should also have a strategy in place to encourage customers to leave a review. This can be done on both quid pro quo basis and just in good faith. Encourage your customers in person is good, in email, newsletters, and in your place of business with your free Google marketing tool. You can create a small pop-up whenever someone visits your website. asking them to leave a review. Make sure to make it as easy as possible. Provide relevant links and always thank them at the end of the message. And try not to send them to platforms that require too much effort, like requiring signups, personal details, etc. Use your social media channels and find a fun way to encourage your customers to leave a review. It can be a special hashtag day for thanking your colleagues for an amazing job they are doing, or just a fun video provoking a good vibe. And don't forget about the power of email signatures. Add a line about the fact that you would very much appreciate a review of your customers' experience with your brand. And as we mentioned about don't forget to give them a clear direction of where they should go. Establish an incentive program, but not for Google. This is against their guidelines. If you feel you would like to provide better motivation for leaving a review, you can come up with a special encouragement program. Say per each review, a customer gets X points. After receiving Y points, they can count on a discount, a charitable donation, free publicity, or a unique piece of content. Just use your imagination and experiment with the specifics of the program. And don't forget to thank every customer that leaves a positive review. After all, they have put in their time and effort to assist your business and leave a nice review. So this much is expected from you in return. Although a simple thank you should suffice, it is nice to come up with a more personal touch to your courtesy reply. Showing your customers that you care will incentivize them to keep coming back and maybe leaving more reviews. Managing negative online reviews. Bad reviews have a direct impact on your business bottom line as they discourage your existing and potential customers from using your services or product. We discussed this at length in a research. Review trackers survey unveils that 94% of consumers admit that a negative online review can turn them off choosing a particular business. Before addressing your negative reviews, make an assessment of the most problematic reviews. Reviews that rank highly in the search engine result pages are a great starting point. Quickly run through the following platforms: Google My Business, social media platforms, like those. It is important that you capture a regular snapshot of your online review so that you can deal with issues effectively. How to respond to negative online reviews? As we have already mentioned, you should already have a solid strategy in place on how you deal with negative reviews. And you know that your blacklist of trolls and haters might not be worth your time. However, you need to address bad review. Once again, and it cannot be overstressed, ignoring negative reviews is the worst policy you can come up with. Answering such reviews showcases that you as a brand truly care about each and every customer and go to some great lengths to resolve their issues. According to a study from online resources, 34% of consumers will remove their original bad review once they hear back from the business. Improve your business time. Negative comments are very time sensitive. The earlier you address them, the less impact they convey. Using the management strategy you have in place, work on improving the speed of your replies. At the same time, don't respond without have a plan first. Avoid saying something in a hurry that will hurt you in the long run. Show courtesy. Your answer should always start with a simple thank you, a common courtesy for their feedback and time. Apologize if you are wrong, with one exception. If you are a, if you are at fault, you should extend your apologize. Tell the reviewer that you have pinpointed whether the problem came from and are now working on a solution. You can even ask them to actively participate and provide insights on your newly designed solution. However, keep in mind that some apologies could result in legal action. If you have a possible legal issue, you can still show empathy without putting the company at risk. Like by saying, we understand your frustration. How can we make this better? We want to provide better services for you. Tell us what you need. Showing understanding and empathy will go a long way with customers. Public and private communication. We strongly encourage you to address most of the negative comments in public. This can help negate the impact of bad review and show others that you are very responsive and approachable. However, some reviews require more in-depth conversations that may involve some sensitive data. So publicly mention that you will have to disclose some specific things that aren't public to continue the conversation and suggest moving the conversation into private channels. Offer a refund or discount. This tactic should be the last resort for your reputation management strategy. However, there might be a case where this approach is the best option there is, especially if your product or service is really to blame. With messages about refunds, it is best to address them in private as there might be some misunderstanding from other customers who don't understand why someone qualifies for a discount or a refund while they don't. Make improvements to your service or products. If you spot that some complaints are recurring consistently, consider actually making changes to your business. The same complaint from multiple customers is an indication that something is wrong on your site. Make sure to keep everyone posted on what measures you are undertaking to get the issue resolved. How to push negative reviews down the search engine result pages. Up to now, we were describing the cases when all parties were reasonable and objective in their negative feedback. Unfortunately, sometimes this is not the case. If you have exhausted all your efforts to reach some agreement with a publisher of a highly biased piece, yet that content rank high for your branded keywords, there is a possible workaround. In short, you need to rank a positive article or an own profile of your own up above the problematic one. These reviews rank either because they are placed on a very authoritative platform or because they have backlinks to them. So to rectify this situation, you need to push the negative content onto page 2 of Google. Or further down, if possible, here are 4 things you can do. creating and earn great and positive content that outranks the negative piece. Work to seek a product or service reviews on high profile sites. Work with influential bloggers or work alongside your PR team. It is not a quick fix, but it is an approach that should maintain the results and fight negative article. Create content that is always on brand. There is another side of online reputation management we have to mention branding. We don't just mean the visual aesthetics, although important as well, but the general consistency of messaging and tone of voice. The content your customers initially stumble upon when looking up your brand will largely shape their perception of it. So, by having a solid online reputation management strategy in place, you have the power to protect yourself in the way you want to be seen. So, how your content appears for your branded sites, the replies you give across review platforms and your social media communication, they all play a part in shaping your image in the eyes of your customers. Choose your influencers wisely. Choose your influencers wisely. When talking about online reputation management, we cannot ignore its newest angle for many businesses. Influencer marketing, this may seem like a great substitution for paid media, but you do not have the same control over the reputation as you do with ads and sponsored posts. When dealing with high-end influencers, try to pinpoint the ones who are not already taken by your competitors and best fit your brand image. If you spot a mention from an influencer during your online reputation audit, reach them out and thank them for the mention. This can become a conversation starter. Even if their review was not absolutely favorable, you can get a chance to create a better pitch for your product and service and turn them into your brand ambassadors. When identifying an aspiring brand ambassador, check who mentions your brand most frequently and look at the count of their followers on Twitter and check how active they are on forums that are relevant to your industry. Check their Instagram profiles and look at general sentiment of their posts mentioned below. Add the mentioner to favorites to work on your outreach later. Once you create a list of mentioners with high potential to become your brand ambassadors and with high follower count, you can prioritize your outreach efforts. Online reputation management is only a reflection of this new bottom-up communication where your existing and potential customers get a voice around your brand. So online reputation management is an essential part of any business marketing and growth strategy for any business out there. People are talking about you and will continue to do so. Your job is to set up a solid online reputation management strategy to navigate through all the online conversations, provide fixes here and there, and provoke positive state. So we are ending to now the today lesson. Today we have discussed about online reputation management. So I hope you got something new and you learned something new. Now we came to actually almost finish the executive skill part. After that, we have only 2 chapters in executive skills. After that, we are going to start managerial skills. At the end of the that case, you have to face for an exam. The passing rate of the exam will be 70%, and for students who have passed the final exam can do the course, do the practical course for free, and who students who who are failing to reach the pass rate can repeat this course for free again, and do the final exam again. They have 3 attempts. So this is the scenario of this course. And after, as the next lesson, you will learn AdSense blogging and affiliate marketing. So thank you. Have a nice day.